Now, begin with the Palestinian Minister of Islamic, Endowment and Religious Affairs has warned the Al-Aqsa Mosque is in danger of destruction due to Israel's excavations under the compound. Now, Sheikh Yousif Ideis said in a statement that the excavations could lead to religious war in the region even, which he says the Israeli regime ignites every day. Ideis added that Israel's actions are in gross violation of international law. Tel Aviv says the excavations are part of the archaeological program. Al-Aqsa Mosque is the third holiest site in the Muslim world. Islamic countries have repeatedly warned Israel against desecrating the mosque by digging underneath it. We're joined by Mr. Tony Gosling, investigative journalist, get his views on this. Hello, Tony, and thanks for joining us on the program again. And now your views on carrying out an archaeological expedition that you know is going to lead to tensions with Muslims. It's one of the holiest sites of all of Islam. It's not just going to infuriate Palestinians, but Muslims worldwide.
Yes, well, we have a bit of a problem with the third temple, don't we, as both religions make claim to it. I would also point out that there are many people who say that the Israelis can actually build the third temple without demolishing the Al-Aqsa Mosque, because the Al-Aqsa Mosque, the place it is on the site, wasn't actually used in the original as a sacred part of the original temple site. So if they wanted a nice compromise, friendly compromise, it would be quite easy for the Israelis to do that. But look, this is not the first time people have been digging tunnels underneath this site. It was first actually back around about the 11th century, with the Knights Templar started their organisation underneath this very same spot, digging tunnels, hiding stuff, etc. And actually what they were doing was they were looking for things, looking for the archaeology of the original temple from biblical times. But this is a very significant pinch point, I think, historical pinch point, what we're coming up to here with the rebuilding of the temple. Because as Stephen Sizer, the British vicar, has pointed out in his book, Roadmap to Armageddon, there are 6 points on the way to Armageddon, and it looks as if this is point number 5. One is that the Jews will remain as God's chosen people, absolutely still are, although most of the world would say actually that they forfeited that many years ago. Then there's the final restoration to the scriptural lands, which was fulfilled, I suppose you could say, in the 1940s when the Jews returned. That's point number 2. 3, they also say the land belongs exclusively to Jews, which means excluding everybody else, which is actually a kind of a little signature there for apartheid. So this is we're starting to go down a very dangerous road. Number 4 is that Jerusalem would be the eternal capital of the Jews, and it cannot be shared. I mean, these are all quite dangerous ideas. But number 5 is the rebuilding of this third temple, and the final one, number 6, is an apocalyptic war. And apparently there is no prospect for peace in these Zionist ideas. And so anyone that sort of says there is going against God's will. Now, you know, this is, I think, a very important analysis that Stephen Sizer has made. And as history unfolds, we're seeing more and more of these plans come to fruition.
Tony, it's always a pleasure. Thank you once again. That was Tony Gosling joining us out of Bristol, investigative journalist.